Hello, my name is Jack Charlier, and I'm the CEO of the Police Treatment and Community Collaborative, PTACC. PTACC is the national and global voice of the field of deflection and pre-arrest diversion. I'm excited to welcome you today to this Deflection Software Video Series. This is the second time that PTACC has produced this Deflection Software Video Series for you, the field of deflection, in order to meet those companies and organizations that are seeking you to help do deflection and do it better by focusing on data, metrics, outcomes, and operational information that you need for your deflection site to serve your community as best as it can. I invite you now to sit back, watch, and enjoy each of these videos, and of course, solicit those companies that you think would provide you the best service and the best lift necessary as you continue to do the critical work of deflection in your community. Thank you again for joining us. Enjoy.
Hello, I'm Laura Morris, the Vice President of Product and Customer Relations with Julota. Julota is an interoperability platform designed to allow for multi-agency care teams to share information within the confines of HIPAA, 42 CFR, and CJIS. Julota stands for Just Love on Them Always and was born out of a partnership between a 35-year veteran ER doc who saw how the ER was used by people who didn't know how to access community services and an IT professional who lost his sister to opioid addiction. What they saw were people who were involved with many agencies, none of whom saw the full picture of what needed to be done to effectively support them being successful in their communities. Their vision for Julota was to create a system that brought all of these agencies together as a care team and provide them with the tools and the data to effectively collaborate and address the needs of the client. Julota's platform provides a case management foundation that's highly configurable to support unique workflows of each team we work with. It's designed to support incoming referrals from a variety of sources, including the individual needing assistance, family, friends, community members who know the individual, or first responders who identify individuals through contacts on the street. It can also include referrals from other data systems from partner agencies that record incidents where substance use or overdoses may have been identified. Once referred in, Julota's system will allow users to submit and document referrals to community resources and social services to address their underlying needs. While Julota is able to function as a primary case management system, the real value comes from our ability to integrate with other data systems and automate standard processes to build efficiency in daily work to allow agencies to impact more clients. Our integrations allow Julota to compile a full longitudinal data record from all agencies involved in the automations and can allow frontline staff to spend more time interacting with clients and less time managing the overwhelming amount of data that's available today. In addition to the case management features, Julota strives to build efficiency through automations that streamline work for the care team. Examples of common automations that can be valuable to deflection care teams include notifications of new law enforcement contacts, 911 calls, or even ED visits that involve the client, and automated referrals from the data systems that I mentioned before of partners that are of specific criteria for overdose or suspected overdose, administration of naloxone, or other key factors. This proactive identification of those needing assistance can streamline identification of individuals needing help. Our system's also designed to provide data necessary for you to evaluate your effectiveness and the value of your programs to your community. The ability to tailor your platform to the programs and services you provide and the metrics that will measure success in those programs gives you the power to ensure that you're able to meet the needs of more people for fewer resources and validate the investment of continued funding for your work. We give you access to your data through several options, including standard graphical reports and extracts of raw data, custom reports built to your specifications, and for those with access to data visualization tools like Power BI or Tableau, there's the option of a data warehouse that provides access to all critical data in the system. Cost is based off of your unique needs and programs to ensure that you only pay for what provides value to you for case management and the evaluation of the work that you're doing. Our pricing supports the flexibility of our system and ensures you get the value you expect out of the Julota platform. As a customer, you are assigned a technical account manager who'll guide you through the onboarding process, documenting your workflows, configuration of your platform, training of staff, and your ongoing contact for updates and evolutions of your platforms as your programs grow and change. The technical account manager is also your advocate for feedback and experiences you have that will be put forth to inform future enhancements or the expansion of the product. At Julota, we believe every community deserves connected, accessible care for its most vulnerable populations. Our mission is to remove barriers to care for the most at-risk members of our community by empowering organizations with technology that strengthens collaborations and improves outcomes. In the Julota platform, when a user logs in, the first space that they see is our dashboards. Dashboards are an incredibly powerful section of the software that allows a user to configure systems to support them in their daily work. There's a wide variety of different dashboards depending on the work and the information that they need at their fingertips. And for each of these dashboards, they have the ability to organize the grids that appear. So the power comes in being able to adjust the order of columns, to be able to add and remove columns as needed for an individual's view. And even more powerful, being able to sort or prioritize details within the grids through the tools that are attached at each column for being able to sort and or filter specific information so that they can have a view of exactly what they need at any given moment in time. Users can also access information and do their daily work inside of the dashboard. So we streamline this for the user's experience and the ability for them to be able to not navigate through multiple screens, but to complete a lot of the routine work that they do on a daily basis off of that initial screen when they log in. So you have the ability to do things like enter in a service encounter for information and details when I'm meeting with a client. If I'm out on site and out in the field, I have the ability to open up that screen, complete all of the information here in this screen, including any logic or information that's assigned or set into that structure. And when I'm completed, I can just hit finish, and it will record that information into the individual's file. I also have easy access to any individual sections within the system for this particular file and can navigate there quickly and easily with just the click of a button. In addition to grids and information that can be organized for daily workload, there's also a metrics tab for each dashboard that's scoped to the specific information that's included in that dashboard. This is a system-wide set of metrics that show graphical information about all the information that's included in the system. This gives me a quick overview of what's been done, who's been worked with, what details I need that can be great for quick answers to questions around caseload, workload, and program efficiency and effectiveness. Typically, the entry point for work within Julota is through a referral. And our referral form is one of the highly configurable sections of our software that I talked about before. Each of these data elements can be altered or adjusted for whether or not it's required or optional, whether or not it even appears or not. So you have a lot of selection and a lot of option to dial in the data and the information that you need to collect on any given point in time when information is coming into the system. These referrals can also be submitted by a wide variety of audiences. So you'll notice that the referring organization here at the top, the list of organizations that can be entered in can be configured from who your partners are that would be submitting referrals on your behalf. For example, your law enforcement partners who may be identifying individuals on street contacts that they need to refer in for services can be brought in, and that information can be transmitted through the referral form, and you'll know that it's coming from that law enforcement partner. Obviously, for deflection, another source that's critical is the ability for individuals to refer themselves or potentially community members or family members to submit a referral on behalf of someone. Typically, those folks will not be users in your system. And so we have a concept that we call an external referral form where a URL is provided that can be provided in a QR code or other kinds of communication formats. And when somebody uses that URL, it will actually guide them to this secure form that allows them to submit information on behalf of either themselves or an individual that they need to refer into the program. And again, the power of the configuration of the process is that this form can be simplified dramatically from what you just saw, that a partner in law enforcement in terms of the level of information that may be able to be provided. So that's tailored specifically to the audience that's going to use each of those external links or each of those various referral forms. Once this is completed by somebody external to the organization, and again, no user account is necessary, they can just hit submit referral and that's submitted into the system in a secure fashion. So it still complies with HIPAA, 42 CFR, and CJIS if necessary. So the next layer is once those referrals are brought into the system and processed in, and somebody on your team has identified that this person is appropriate to work with, when they process that, they open up what's called a service. And the service is what we think of as recording all information for an episode of care. So it's a period of time within which you're going to record all of your contacts and all of the details that you're evaluating about that person. So it could be in the form of an intake that is completed for an individual. It could be service encounters that are entered with a wide variety of data. Again, things like what kind of a contact it was in terms of whether it was a follow-up or collateral contact, contacting somebody that knows this individual, but all of the required data that you would need to be able to record and then report to evaluate effectiveness of individual services or effectiveness of the program overall can be recorded inside of the service. You end up with a chronological listing of the various encounters over time in terms of information that's collected. And that is then compiled with a wide variety of information that you can capture here on the left-hand side, including housing history, homelessness, as well as history of stability within a housing situation, medical history if it's needed, behavioral health and mental health history based off of the DSM-5, substance use history and their substances of choice, as well as the frequency of use, any previous treatment that's been received, etc. And then for our more clinical teams, you've even got medications, vitals, labs, and weights. One of the tools included in Julota is the full longitudinal record. This gives a high-level summary of the demographics of an individual that have been entered into the system, including housing and homelessness history, military service, and other details. In addition, as you get to the bottom of the page, it allows you to see all of the work that has been compiled over time on an individual. This is incredibly helpful with high risk and high need populations that cycle through our systems repeatedly. You're able to see a review of all of the history of the different services that have been provided across multiple teams or multiple partners, as well as referrals out into the community that were made on behalf of these individuals. It gives you a high-level overview of all of the work, including narrative records of what was done for individuals as they were involved with the programs, and even gives you a summary of data that may be being brought in through interfaces. So things like 911 calls and ED visits history. This, in the intro where I talked about the ability to automate, these are great spaces for being able to build efficiency around automation and identifying of events that case managers need to be alerted to when they occur in real time. So once all of the data is included inside of Julota and has been captured, the next layer is the ability to report on and aggregate that information. Julota provides a full structured admin dashboard that allows you locally to have control over who your partners are in terms of organizations that you're entering, who are users in your system that can access data, what data they can access, and how they access it. But it also provides multiple layers of reporting. One is a series of graphical reports and also data exports for raw data that can be used to analyze in larger scale. A great example of one of the graphical reports is this overview of services provided in the system. This gives you a standard breakdown across all of your programs of the services provided and the individuals served. It includes a standard set of demographics at the base, and these graphs can be edited and exported to be able to be shared through a variety of different presentations and reports in the system. In terms of data exports, the other information that can be exported out of the system are Excel sheets of raw data. This particular view that you're looking at currently is designed to be used in data visualization systems. It has all of the relevant information from all of the different areas within Julota that are available, and it includes our standard data elements as well as anything that's customized to you that you can export and then utilize to either do data analysis or use as a source of data into a data visualization package. This gives great power to the idea that any data that goes in can be drawn back out and be reported on. And it leverages the fact that any customization or configuration that you've done can be accessed through that sheet as well. So as I've shown today, the Julota platform is largely a case management platform, but its power comes in the automation and the integration that can be done through the system to bring large amounts of data together and give access to it for reporting and for case management on a day-to-day basis. We're excited to be able to provide services to communities that are working with our most vulnerable populations and hope that you find value in what we can offer and will reach out to find out more. Thank you.